Hello everyone, this is John for PokerVIP.com, and in this video I'm doing a review for StewieStag, who's been a long-running member of the PokerVIP forum. He now posts under a Cookie Monster or something along those lines in the strategy forum quite a lot. Really good player, interesting thought process. Currently playing 25 and L, 2 Zoom tables over on PokerStars. And yeah, we're going to just launch into what we think he's doing right, what we think he's doing wrong. He's got an interesting looking HUD up at the moment. I'm pretty sure I can read what most of those will be. They generally look a lot more complicated than they are. And yeah, let's try and help him out, get him crushing again, and see what he's doing. One thing I will say is I have a feeling he might be making things a little bit more complicated than he needs to. He might just need things simplifying, just a few more standard lines maybe, and then just talking about the bluffing spots that he may take. But that's all just me assuming and me guessing, and just from what I'm getting off him when I speak to him, privately on Skype and off the forum. So he started the video just as he's got these aces. We haven't seen the pre-flop action, but I think it's pretty safe to say we open pre-flop on the button 2.5x or there and thereabouts, and this Liufa guy has led 1 into 142 on a 894. I think here is a really sort of fair spot to just go ahead and raise, obviously for value. There is a comment that you can just call down here 3 streets, but I think we do lose value from one pair type hands, straight draws, gut shots, flush draws, combos, and so on. So personally here I'd probably just raise it to around 350. He goes for 3, which I think is great. King Jack mid position, I like the open. It's a little looser than some people may play. They might open this in the cutoff onwards. But I think it's fine. Once it goes min raise, then I think we can just go ahead and fold it. 3-6, he was looking at a 3-bet spot there to take it down. I think we can do that a lot more often, and it is something I'm starting to build into my game a lot more. It's kind of just not blindly 3-betting, but people open a lot blind versus blind. If they've got a fairly good folded 3-bet percentage, over 60%, then we can go ahead and do that. Also, button versus cutoff as well. He's labeling everyone, which is always great to see. Generally, labeling people you can do just from your HUD. Obviously, we will see people are tight or loose from their HUDs, but if you just color code them as well, you can see it instantly. So we defended with King Jack here versus a mid-position open. I'm not too keen on that. I didn't see the guy's VPIP from this position. His HUD seems to have gone off. 3-betting or folding is even okay. The turn I 100% lead. I really don't like that check on the turn. We check the flop as standard because we're going to go for a check call. Once it goes check check, I think we're very safe that we're ahead. I don't think the 9 improves into a hand that beats us too often. So I feel like we shouldn't give him another free card to beat us, or for him to, not start paying us off, with a hand like 7s or 8s on the turn, which he might call with, or even a hand, like Queen 10, 8, 10, and so on. So I think turn we missed a value lead there. 10-4, oh yeah, I'd automatically fold. Pair of 2s we don't have to call. We are getting a good price when we are in position, but we really do honestly just keep looking for sets here. I personally peel because I like playing in position, but I would much prefer a hand like 7-10 suited, as it just is a little bit easier to play. We can bluff more, we can semi-bluff more, we can backdoor hands and so on. With deuces, we are just very much looking for a deuce. So maybe have a look there at 3-betting in position to take it down pre-flop. Or even folding sometimes, especially if it's against a really good player. There will be an argument there for calling because of the odds we are getting and because we're in position, and that even by folding we don't lose a ton of money if we don't hit a set. I'm just saying there are definitely other things we can do. 5-6 suited in the cutoff, I like the open. We could even check back this flop even with a flush draw, just because it is one of those boards that does connect with the villain a lot, and we might find ourselves getting check raised and be, calling with a 6-high flush draw, which could also be dominated or, dead. c-betting is a standard move, but checking in position to then call turns or to delay c-bet or to go for turn and river value is not the worst idea in the world. Jack 7, I don't really like defending here. I'd probably go for a 3-bet or a fold. 5-9 suited, I like the open. Any suited cards on the button, I'm pretty much game for opening nowadays. Queen 6 here, I would have folded quicker. I guess he was just noting people. Under the gun limps with a small blind. We're never going to make it up from there. I don't think isolating with that kind of hand is good either. So I assume he was just taking his time and making a note there. It's so easy to fast fold in these games. Ace 3 suited under the gun, I prefer to fold. I open Ace 4 and Ace 5 suited, but I understand people like it in their range. I think 3x is a good size as well to go with. Chlorinio. I think he used to play mid-stakes. He seems to be a snee. If he got snee from 25 and L, he's an absolute animal, and should be everyone's hero. But I'm pretty sure he used to play 200 and L. 10-4, we decided to defend here. I don't mind it at all. I personally just call this flop. I don't see how we're getting much value from worse. I don't see how building a pot is a good idea here. I would also check the turn. We are getting snapped here, which normally means a marginal hand or a draw. I don't think we're getting the marginals to fold, and we beat the draws. So personally, I would just check this back, assume I'm winning a decent amount of the time, and not getting better to fold or worse to call. I'm sure Stewie will explain that, but I think that was maybe a bit of button clicking. And from the speed, he did it as well. I would assume so. Ace 4 suited here, maybe a good 3-bet spot. The guy looks very tight. His fault to 3-bet out position is 25%, did that say? Okay, yeah, maybe a fold. I was just trying to read through his HUD there. Christ, that's a low fold to 3. Guess it's because he's got such a tight opening range pre-flop. He's generally going to have, mid pairs plus, decent broadways, ace queens and so on. 5-6 off on the button, we can open. Ace Jack here, interesting spot versus 3 players. God, he really is a labelling king. He's gone for the check. I guess that's to control the size of the pot, be able to check call. It's really hard to fold here. I think folding would be a mistake because people can have a lot of draws. They can even have some worse aces and some worse pairs. I'd go for a check call again. Guy's really building the pot here. He can definitely have 9s or 10s or ace 10 or ace 9s. But I think we got to call again because, like I said, of all of the draws, we also have some blockers with the jack here. Clubs get there in the back, so the, clubs that S4D could have like 9-10 of clubs, Jack Queen of clubs type hands. So if he did bet the river, it could definitely be a reputable a jam there. Interesting that he checked back 2-pair on the river. I don't think it's a bad check back. But there could be an argument for going for some value there, because our hand is kind of face up at that time, which makes the argument for him to carry on a bluff with a draw. Well, with a misdraw, with a straight draw. Good. Interesting open here by Sure. He's gone for the 90 cents open. I think we can just call here in position. The reason to 3-bet is that he doesn't fold a lot. He calls with worse. So I think flatting, playing in position is absolutely fine. Ace Jack suited, an obvious open there. Sure went for the flop check. I'm not sure if he's going for a check raise or if he's just completely missed his board. I think if he checked the turn, we could go ahead and start betting our hand, get him to fold, hands like ace, 9s, 10s, or even the same hand like ace, queen. But once he bets, I think we've got an option to fold. Ace Jack here, a dead easy flat call, I would say. We've got the backdoor nut flush draw. We've got a solid ace. People are going to be bombing into, flush draws and also worst aces. Okay, so now we chop with all aces, obviously. Well, not all aces, but the aces that don't make top twos. Full houses, and so on. The 8, I don't expect many people to have an 8 here, so if someone bet, I would expect them to just have, ace X, because I expect them to raise with ace 8 on the flop. I don't expect them to call with an 8. Pair of pocket 3s, I guess they could have, but here I'm making a call, assuming that I'm chopping, or that he might be bluffing sometimes. I just find it too hard to fold this hand, so I'd go for a call, even though it is a pot bet. Ace King suited here, I like to check raise. I think that's really nice. Sexy. Wow, we folded the ace jack. Okay, guess we put him on pocket 3s. Ace King here, good turn for us again to just bomb into. 2 overs, the gut shot, the nut flush draw. Everything, is to the nuts. So let's go, go, go. Ace and King can definitely be live. And we could even get in value from, hands like 7, 8 of clubs, But the main aim here is to fold hands like 8s and 9s, a 10 and so on. Really tough spot here. I think we're getting a decent enough price with our hand to call. However, we don't really like to call off in these spots, but we can be against draws sometimes, but I think it's very rare. I think he's going to have a lot of one pair type hands because they generally raise the flop with, sets and 2 pairs. He might have a hand like queens, which we're doing okay against, and he could just have complete crap like pocket 5, so I think it's probably a call there because we're getting the right price. Interesting line the guy took with pocket 5s there. Maybe he's got a read on Stewie, but I like our line. And if we're betting there with all those outs to call off, and we just assume that the guy's not got that big of a made hand, I think the biggest made hand he can have there is like 10 jack. By the way he sort of plays it, of calling the flop with a pair, makes 2 pair, gets it in. And like I say, on the flop, I just don't expect them to have too many sets there because they generally like to push the action on the flop there to protect against draws and to get it in versus overpairs and whatnot. So I think he generally has a weaker 1 pair hand, or very rarely, but sometimes a big combo draw. Interesting line with the 5s. Don't like it, but hey ho, we run into these things. Looks like we're shutting down with the ace queen here. It's just one of those horrible spots where if you jam the turn or bet the turn, you're kind of just doing it hoping he's got nothing and folds, which doesn't make that much sense when we've got ace queen. Really putting the torture chamber here. Don't like it at all. It's one of those spots where you just kind of want to rip your hair out. I probably elect on. I mean, we're getting 3 to 1. Ace and queen might be live. 4 might be live. None of it's guaranteed though, so I think I might just find a fold here. Going for a call, bricks out. Obviously, we could be up against hands like 6, 7 or 7, 9, but it's going to be really hard for us to call a river jam, even though we are getting 3 to 1. And we fold. Yep. If you want a free video review, head over to the our forum. Go to the Poker Strategy subforum, and at the top you'll see a sticky, free video reviews for everyone. Get your name down. I'll send you all the instructions for these, and you're good to go. I think a squeeze here is nice with ace queen. I don't really like the flat there. The original opener is loose. It might be the guy who played the 5s versus us, I'm not sure. Ace queen 4-way. Not too sure if we're going to be able to play that easily post flop unless we flop big. So I think that was a pretty obvious squeeze spot for value. King queen here, we decide to flat versus a fishy looking opponent. Flop pretty well. I think just a flat call here is absolutely fine. Argument for raising is to build the pot, but we do get a lot of hands to fold. We kind of have to call to someone to get paid, or for them to just not like to fold. Once it gets checked to us, I think around 150, 160 is absolutely fine. We can't go too big, we can't go too small. So this Yakut guy, where's his 3-bet? 11%. I would go for a cold 4 here. People battle versus the button a lot. We've got 100 big blinds, we've got pocket jacks, we've got it versus an aggressive opponent. I think that's a really easy 4-bet to get it in pre-flop play. Yeah, I like the bet here. I think we're going to get check raise a decent amount of time. I think we're going to get some action from the button, so definitely not checking to trap. I'm just betting to get the action. Stone Cold Cooler, the poor guy, running it twice. Brick, we take down the pot, but I think maybe just go for the 4-bet pre. We can get it in versus the button, we can get it in versus the aggressive guy, and jacks are pretty damn tasty. Eight ten off, definitely an open. This guy's probably going to call by looks of it though. 52-48. He actually folds. Okay. Ace high suited under the gun, not a hand I generally open with. I do ace 10 suited plus, so it's pretty marginal. Once we do get 3-bet though, it's a very easy fold. We all know that 7-8 suited is a really nice open. We can check this. We can check back this flop, go for a delayed c-bet, especially betting once we hit the 8. Get a very quick call there, so I expect to get a nice bit of river value. I would go bigger because if this guy's got a draw and miss, he's going to fold. If he's got a hand like a king or a 10, he's probably going to call 250 if he's going to call 2, so that's the reason I'd go bigger than smaller. King deuce suited in the cutoff, not a hand that's in my range. Not too sure why he's done that one. There's probably a reason for it. Someone in the blinds or button who was not aggressive and folds a lot, I assume. But you know, there is a long time ago, I was speaking to a very good poker player, and he said sometimes it's just good to show it with a king deuce suited. Sometimes it's good to show it with a 10-4, off, because people then just start to misthink situations in the future. So can't really complain. Really nitty guy here. Only played a few hands though by looks of it. I think this is way too big in position. 100 big blinds deep. I think we could go like 220, 225. I would c-bet exactly what I 3-bet here. We can get a lot of stacks in, so yeah, 260 is a good amount, pretty much around that area. Get a quick fold, which is annoying. Good flop for us. Probably just fold there, yep, nice. So it looks like he's got notes and labels on pretty much everyone, decent amount of hands on most players, really like it. These little things is what's going to help you make easy decisions in the future. To sign up to PokerStars, go to pokervip.com/deals. Deposit bonuses, VIP schemes, Poker VIP merchandise, everything you need. Jack 9 looks like we 3-bet pre-flop. I was looking at the other table. I was looking at Clarino, definitely remembering him from the Mid-States games back in the day. Yeah, it looks like we shut down on the turn. I think we could maybe double or triple barrel. Check raising is generally unbelievable. I think we might have missed a good spot there to rep a decent pair, because you've got to remember, if we've got jacks, queens, kings, or aces, we're betting our flop, we're betting a turn, we're jamming the river. We know that he's going to start folding out his marginals, we know he's going to have some draws that he misses, and we know we can rep it pretty well. So generally, I don't 3-bet those hands to assume that one c-bet always takes it down, or that I need to hit to win the pot. Maybe a little bit more heart in those situations, and a little bit less button clicking in other situations, possibly. Two solid opens here. Queen 9, I think we can just go for a c-bet, knowing that we are going to get floated a lot, knowing that we are going to get called a lot, so going for a double or possible triple barrel, betting into draws that we might develop on the turn. Good turn card for us there. I think we need to slow down slightly. It's like click, click, click. Take an extra second because, you know, generally when people bet fast, they might see it as a bluff. Jack 5, I'm not loving the open, but this guy is playing 14-13, so very tight, not probably calling too often, not probably defending wide enough, just a bit of a nit. Jack 5 suited, maybe more of an argument. Jack 5 is pretty close still. It's not a fist pump open by all means. Labeling some people as bad regs. Be really interesting what these regs thought of StewieStag and how he played. Oh, looks like we've got YouTube going on or something there. Looks like got rid of that quickly. Waiting for other players. Not too sure what's happening here. I'm just going to skip it slightly. There we go. Guess he just computer froze or something whilst he pulled up the internet. Really enjoying this video though. Stewie is an interesting player. Leave comments below. Let myself and let Stewie know exactly what you think of how he's playing and what you think I'm saying of how he can improve, other things he can do. We're all here to help each other, so get on board. And again, like I say, if you want a video review like this yourself, head over to our forum, go to the Poker Strategy subforum and put your name down in the sticky. King 3 on the button I like to fold. King 3 suited I would be opening though. Deuces here would generally be a fold, yeah, person under going to open. Looks like he reloads tables every time he sort of goes 150 bigs or over, or there and thereabouts. Personally, not a strategy I like because I like playing deeper. You get to put, you know, bad regs in terrible positions, and you also get to, you know, get more money from the fish who are deeper. Tens I would have liked to squeeze. You know, these guys are just good standard opening players. They're gonna have, you know, the standard opening ranges we might have, so we just sort of let bad hands get into the pot with us playing three-way with tens. So I'd prefer to get value pre-flop from that. King Queen here, I'm fine with a call down. We can even jam and get it in versus draws or weaker kings. The reason to call is that we think he is bluffing, so that's absolutely fine to do. Not the best turn card for us there because some straights do get there, but I like the jam anyway. But I might just go with that on the flop. Leave a comment below, let me know what you think. The only issue we're going with it on the flop is that if he is bluffing, we get no more value. But do we think people bluff there enough? Who knows? But I do like the play of just call, get it in on the turn. If a spade comes, that's the only issue, that it does put us in a bad spot. We might get outplayed if they are bluffing and repping those hands, but that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Ace-10 here, I generally fold it and open it in the cutoff. But I assume Stewie is going to open it because he plays slightly wider ranges than myself. However, what I am personally doing at the moment is opening my ranges, you know, going a lot deeper. Interesting here that we flat with queens. Now, this guy is a pretty standard reggy looking kind of guy. Well, maybe a little bit worse than a reg, you know, 2013, bit of a gap there. I think we can just go for a good solid 3-bet pre for value. You know, let's build these pots. When we've got these strong hands, why are we making things difficult for ourselves? Why are we letting people, you know, get there with worse hands? Why are we, you know, sort of not getting more money from them? I think that river's a very easy value bet as well. I think the guys reckon like a 10, pocket jacks, maybe even 9s. He did show up with nothing, but I think a lot of the times there the guy's going to have a pair and he's going to call. I don't think he's got a king. I don't think he's got aces. I don't think he's got a set. So yes, if he does have a missed draw, he's going to fold, but I think he can have a decent amount of pairs there. And again, pre-flop, let's get some value in the middle by 3-betting. Yep. Very easy open with king jack. Easy fold with king deuce. Ace-8 suited, not a hand I personally open under the gun, but I was just about to say again, Stewie will. The reason I don't like to open it is we're going to be dominated, we're going to be 3-bet, we're going to find it hard to play post-flop by just hitting an ace or an 8. we can get ourselves into some tricky spots. It doesn't connect all that well, and multi-way it's definitely hard to play unless we flop really big. Ace-8 suited, there is an argument for doing something here, but I generally fold. Check raising is a bit blind play. Check calling, we're kind of just hoping for a 9, which might even give them a better hand than ours. Or we want a turn that we can start bluffing into. But I think this is one of those very close your eyes and hope kind of plays. This guy's got no stats at all. So we're just expecting this guy to have a little bit of nothing and will totally respect this play. I don't know how often that will work. I like the sizing. We are going to get a jack to fold. But I don't think there was a huge amount of reasoning for that play. Is basically what I'm trying to say. The king-8 here, if we call, our implied odds are pretty low that we don't get paid off because our hand is going to be face up. The issue is getting 2.5 to 1 with a straight draw and an overcard, though, is kind of marginal. So yeah, I kind of like the fold there because we just don't make any further money. And we could always be dominated by a flop straight, you know, the 8-10s or whatever. So we might not get paid if we hit. If we do hit, we might not have the best hand. So I like that fold. 6-7 suited, I like this open. I didn't used to open this wide. It would be like 7 or 8-9 suited from mid position, but I think opening these and showing up with them time to time is a good thing to do. King 10, maybe. Oh, we've only got 7 hands on this guy. It's hard to think he's a fish when his stats are 14-12. But over 16 hands, that could mean anything, so it's a pretty close decision. Maybe a fold pre-flop there. To sign up to PokerStars, pokervip.com/deals. Just go through the link. All the information on the deal will be there, including deposit bonuses, free merchandise, and so on. Jack 4, not too keen on the open pre-flop there versus a tighter short stack. I think we're going to get put under some pressure. But the 8-9 suited is a dead easy open. And this King Jack will be at least a call. Well, generally just a call for me here with a King Jack. I like it. Solid defend, great flop for us. Just going to probably check call mode here. Yeah, pretty easy. Not the best turn card for us, but, you know, not going anywhere. You know, check calling again. Once it goes check check, I like to value bet the river. It's hard to really get called by much worse, or by anything here. So smaller the better. Half pot gets snapped off. I guess the guy probably had ace-10 or something along those lines. King Deuce, not too keen on the open. Wow, the guy King Deuce off. What a fish. Lovely. Okay, Ace King here. Diana's Fence opens, playing 26-22. A really loose player calls him. Again, fist pump 3-bet for me here. And we're going to get called by this fishy guy a lot. Ace King's a massive hand, obviously, as well. So I really like a 3-bet. Sizing wise, yeah, I don't think it's going to ever be bad. Maybe 275, 3. Jack 9 here, just keep bombing. We get 4-bet here, and it's quite a small 4-bet. Not the spot we want to be in. But when this Nagluvula guy is in the middle of us, then I think Diana could be doing this a little bit lighter. Possibly doing it as a bluff also. We've gone for the 5-bet here. Normally I could just jam. Stewie, if you leave a reason for why you do this, is it to make your hand look stronger? Is it just to make him think a little bit more? What happens if we get peeled? When we get peeled, by the way, they're probably going to have aces. Wow, what the hell's this Diana got? When they peel, it's normally they think we're bluffing, so they call with aces. That's dreadful play by that Diana guy who looked like a solid reg. The Jack 9 I'm calling. He can definitely have a straight or a flush. But also he could have just been floating to bluff. And, you know, we flopped 3 of a kind on a 995, so I'm going with it. Interesting fold. King Jack here, I just pot it, try and get people to fold, or that Nagliver guy can call with worse, so happy days. We get 3 calls, not the spot we want to be in. Maybe check here, try and get a free card, could even go for a check raise. That ace-king hand was amazing, I can't actually believe what I just saw. King Jack here, I'd bet small, you know, around 3. Nice. Nice. Alright, we'll call it a video there. Some interesting plays. So yeah, mainly just, you know, the 3-betting a bit more for value pre-flop. The 10-4 hand when we're blind versus blind, maybe just having a bit more solid reasoning for it. And just, you know, taking your time a little bit more. But altogether, a great player. Really hope I do a bit more work with Stewie on and off the tables and on and off the forum. So remember to get signed up, get your free video review, and this is John for PokerVIP.com.